All right, buckle up, everyone, because today we're ditching the city and taking a deep dive into Yakville.
Yakville.
Yakville, a place so remote it makes off the grid seem like, well, Times Square.
Sounds intriguing. Tell me more.
Well, our guide for this journey is Lama, and his blog post, what was it called? Small Steps.
Small steps, yeah.
Right, Small Steps, which, let me tell you, is a bit of an understatement considering he grew up tending yaks in this incredible and incredibly remote environment.
Oh, I see where this is going. I bet his childhood makes our city commutes look like...
Well, like a walk in the park, right?
Exactly. And that's what's so fascinating about this deep dive. We're talking about Yakville, a place hours from any town, completely surrounded by dense jungle.
Oh, can't even imagine.
Right. And imagine growing up there. Lama was only 9 years old when he started caring for a whole herd of yaks.
9 years old, seriously. I was probably, I don't know, building Lego towers at that age.
Yeah, well, Lama was out there protecting these yaks from predators, navigating this challenging terrain, even sleeping outdoors.
Sleeping outdoors, wow. It's a completely different reality.
It really is, and it makes you think about, how our childhood environment shapes us.
Absolutely.
Lama's story isn't just about yaks, it's about the resilience of the human spirit.
It really is. And it's not just surviving. He actually thrived. He talks about Dawa, the lead yak, almost like a best friend.
Dawa.
Yeah, they slept near each other for protection.
Really?
Yeah, which really highlights their interdependence in that environment.
Oh, absolutely. It's more than just, a boy and his pet. This deep connection with Dawa speaks volumes about Lama's ability to form bonds with these powerful animals.
Exactly.
And it's a testament to their intelligence and social nature as well.
Totally. And this close call with the wild dog that Lama describes, it really drives that point home. Picture yourself as a 9-year-old facing this massive predator,
Okay.
dripping with saliva.
Yeah, I can barely even imagine.
It sends shivers down my spine just thinking about it.
Yeah, it's a terrifying scene, straight out of a nightmare.
It is.
But what's fascinating is how Lama responds. He doesn't freeze or panic. He fights back, and with incredible resourcefulness, too.
Yeah.
Biting the dog's tail to escape.
Wow.
It's incredible. This encounter reveals a level of courage and quick thinking that's far beyond his years.
It makes you wonder, if that experience made him even more cautious and resourceful in the long run.
I think so.
And speaking of daring, his playground wasn't swings and slides. It was the treetops.
The treetop.
The treetops. He spent hours climbing, leaping between branches like a monkey, even building nests high above the ground.
It's both, exhilarating and terrifying to imagine.
Right.
This wasn't just child's play. It was a way of life that demanded incredible
For sure.
balance and a comfort with heights that most of us can only dream of.
Yeah, but even the most experienced climbers can make mistakes. And that brings us to the moment he falls from that 100-foot tree.
Oh.
He describes the feeling of slipping, the realization of imminent death, his thoughts flashing before his eyes.
That's heart-stopping.
Absolutely heart-stopping.
It's a pivotal moment in his story, facing his own mortality.
Right.
But then, miraculously, he manages to grab a branch, clinging on for dear life.
It's a miracle he survived.
It is, and that fall wasn't just a physical ordeal. It was a test of his resilience, his will to survive against all odds.
It's incredible that he even went back to climbing trees after such a traumatic experience.
I know, right?
That really speaks to his incredible resilience, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It raises the question, did this fall change his perspective on risk?
That's a good question.
Or did it simply reinforce his deep connection with the trees, his acceptance of the inherent dangers of his environment?
Right. That's a really good point, I wonder.
Yeah, it really makes you think.
It does, and that brings us to the yaks themselves. That story about the yak remembering the man who hit him, and later trying to attack him, it shows they're not just gentle giants.
Oh, yeah.
They have memory, intelligence, and even a sense of justice.
It's amazing, isn't it? It really challenges our assumptions about animal intelligence.
Right.
We tend to underestimate their capacity for complex emotions and memory.
We do.
And this anecdote, it suggests that yaks, like many animals, have a deep-seated understanding of fairness and consequence.
And yet alongside that fierce protectiveness, there's also this incredible gentleness.
Well, absolutely.
Lama describes them nuzzling him for scratches, seeking comfort and affection.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
This duality is what makes the human-animal bond so powerful.
Oh.
It's not just about utility or survival. It's about mutual respect, trust, and even love.
I agree.
In a way, Andy Lama's relationship with the yaks transcended the typical boundaries of animal ownership.
Mm.
It was a partnership built on understanding and a shared experience of the world.
Absolutely. It really was. This raises an interesting question, though.
What's that?
How did those experiences, that unique way of life, shape Andy Lama's transition to college? Think about the contrast. He goes from this remote jungle existence to a bustling college campus, surrounded by people who've never even seen a yak in real life.
Wow, that's a huge shift.
It is. It's a jarring shift, to say the least.
I imagine the cultural differences he encounters, the
Welcome.
challenges of adapting to a completely foreign environment.
Right.
His classmates likely grew up with technology, social media, structured education.
Yeah. A world away from tending yaks and fending off wild dogs.
Exactly.
It makes you wonder how he navigates those differences. Does he feel like an outsider? Does he share his experiences openly? Or does he keep that part of himself hidden?
That's where the real learning begins, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just about Andy Lama adapting to this new world, but also about his classmates expanding their understanding of what life can be like.
That's a good point.
His presence challenges their preconceived notions, exposes them to a completely different worldview.
And his story reminds us that normal is relative, right?
Exactly.
What might seem extraordinary to us is simply everyday life for someone else.
It is, and by embracing these different perspectives, by stepping outside our own cultural bubbles, we gain a richer, more nuanced understanding of the world and the people in it.
Okay, so we've explored the dangers, the resilience, the profound bond with nature, and the cultural contrasts.
Right.
But what does it all mean for us? What can we take away from this deep dive into Yakville?
Andy Lama's story is a powerful reminder that human potential knows no bounds.
I like that.
We are capable of adapting to and thriving in the most challenging environments.
They are.
His journey teaches us about resourcefulness, the importance of connecting with nature, and the power of embracing different perspectives.
It also highlights the value of stepping outside our comfort zones.
It does.
Imagine yourself in Andy Lama's shoes, facing those challenges, navigating those cultural shifts. What strengths would you discover within yourself? What would you learn about the world and your place in it?
Yeah, it really is a powerful thought experiment, thinking about what we would do in his shoes.
It is. And it highlights how much we can learn by, immersing ourselves in different ways of life.
Sure.
Even if we don't face wild dogs or sleep in treetops, there are still countless opportunities to challenge our assumptions and expand our horizons.
Right. It's a reminder that adventure isn't always about exotic destinations or grand expeditions.
Exactly.
Sometimes the most transformative journeys happen right here, in our own communities.
That's true.
Or even within the pages of a blog post.
It's true. And sometimes the greatest discoveries aren't about finding something new,
Yeah.
but about rediscovering something we've lost touch with,
I know what you mean.
like our own resilience, our capacity for wonder, our connection to the natural world.
Absolutely. Andy Lama's story. It's a testament to the power of the human spirit
I agree.
to adapt, overcome, and find joy in the most unexpected places.
It is.
It's a call to embrace challenges, to seek out, new perspectives, and to never underestimate the strength that lies within each of us.
It is. And as his journey so beautifully illustrates, sometimes the smallest steps can lead to the most extraordinary adventures.
They really can.
Well, that's a wrap on our deep dive into Yakville.
Wow, what a journey.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the fascinating world around us.